Yeah, okay. So today I've decided to do just a little video about this, which is the Optoma 3D XL projector adapter. Now, it works with various projectors, and the ones that they initially recommend are obviously the Optoma range. So they're visible here on the top of the box just now. Now, the one I'm using it with is the HD65, and to use it with the HD65 you have to do a firmware upgrade on the projector itself, which worked out reasonably well and was able to be done without too much trouble. So to do that, obviously the projector had to be taken down, connected to the computer after the software had been downloaded from the internet from Optoma's website, and the procedure actually went through quite simply. With the projector adapter comes one set of glasses, DLP shutter type glasses, and that's a photograph of them there. On the back of the box you'll see the typical connections that can be made using this adapter. So basically your 3D games console, PlayStation 3 for instance, Blu-ray disc player, independent one, or indeed the PlayStation 3, and 3D broadcast with, for instance, Sky via Sky HD in their World package. Now basically all these things connect into the 3D XL projector and then continue on to your 3D ready DLP projector. Now on the back of the unit there's pretty good connectivity really. So what you have is your DC in, a 3D mode switch, which I think is really just left in the position that it comes factory set. I believe you could use two 3D XL units and power up two individual projectors. Quite how you would go about that I'm not 100% sure, but nevertheless that's an option. Maybe increases the resolution overall, because it actually is only, or it is putting out a resolution of 720, not the full 1080. But that doesn't seem to make a difference in the actual viewing. So RS232 output, HDMI out obviously for your projector, infrared out, which to be honest is a bit of a pain, no infrared remote with this particular unit, and your two HDMI ins, and it says version 1.4A in. Now that's actually pretty important. It does say 1.3 out, but in my experience it really had to be a 1.4 out. So there we are. So that's the box. So in practice this is what we have. That's the HD65 up on a ceiling mount, and off to the back of that we're going round, we've got an HDMI 1.4 coming into that, and just the power supply. I did have a standard HDMI cable which I had to change because the signal that was coming up via probably the length of the cable, which is it was a 15 meter cable, so I had to change that and get a 20 meter cable. So just because they didn't have a 15 meter, so I had to get a 1.4 HDMI 20 meter cable to run it back to the source. So I'll just switch that on. Oh. Okay, now I'm just projecting onto a wall at the end of the room, so there's no screen here. To be honest, that's the way I've always done it, and I know that the the picture would be so much better onto a screen, but I just don't really have that facility right at the minute, and it's never been a problem up to now. The wall isn't even white, so I suppose if I'm getting reasonable picture quality on this wall, then I'm sure if you've got a screen you'll get it twice as good. So that's great. So the box itself is down in the cupboard down here. That's where everything is, down in the bottom here. It's not that easy to see. I've just got it vertically in the corner. That's the green light that you see. I'll open this window there. So it's down in there, mounted vertically. It's on at the moment. I've got a PlayStation up the top. Underneath that I've got the Sky HD box, and then underneath that I've got my sound system, which is a Yamaha, which is quite old now, but it's done me proud over the years. I'll just see if I can shed some more light on that. So yeah, that's fine. So at the moment that's all on. I'll just switch on Sky source. It provides a signal and obviously goes to the side. So go back from there. There's your Sky. Nice big picture, of course, and I think pretty sharp. That's not an HD at the moment, that's just a standard channel, so I can move it onto an HD channel. Probably better on a Now the one thing I did have to do was I had to change the, I didn't necessarily have to, but I changed the source on the Sky HD box from automatic to 720p output. Now that you would think would be a decrease, and no doubt it is, but it's not really noticeable on the screen. Then moving into the actual 3D side of things, which obviously for the adapter is important. I move into HD and go down to the 3D channel. In fact, I've got one taped, so let's go into that. Planner. So I've got Avatar down there. I'll start it from about maybe 30 minutes in. So there we have it now. So what we've got there obviously is just our two side by sides. So quite sharp, as you can see on there. So what I'll do now, what you have to do from there is on the box there's a switch. So this is the bit that you would say you could probably do with a remote control for this, but anyway, you have to go in and you've got to switch on side by side. Another green light will come on, which will change the projector's settings, and then that will give us the 3D image up on the screen. Obviously to view that you're going to have to use the glasses, which I'll just try just now. So it's the glasses on, and there it is, full 3D. you won't see it. But I can. Now, there's some settings on the projector which sometimes have to be changed. You have to change the invert. So I can take up the projector settings, and the projector now has some display settings that it didn't previously have. So obviously in 3D mode, all the way down. I can invert it, which sometimes you need to do. It just depends how, I guess, they've filmed it. But it makes a huge difference if it's on the right setting. And that's kind of it. I know that you won't see it through this, but that's the idea through the glasses. You see them flickering. And that is the glasses. Okay, so I'm guessing if there's any real information to be had from this, it is that you really have to upgrade these cables, because they have to be 1.4s, certainly from the source to the unit, but I would also say from the unit to the projector. Before I did that, I had terrible red flaring on the screen, and to be honest, I was blaming the box or things, and it was all down to the cabling. So if you're going to get one of these boxes, which I suggest if you've got a projection set up, you maybe consider, because it is a fantastic output, then certainly change the cable. So you've got to factor that in to your costs. That's it.